Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In this episode, I will be talking about Defi Syndicate. I am actually here with a member of their team to help address some questions and concerns that are commonly sought after, as well as some things that I thought of, and hopefully that'll be able to give you guys some new insight into their project. And just a quick disclaimer, this is a sponsored video, and also I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. In fact, I will be providing links to their Twitter account, to their website, and to their Discord in the description, so you have an opportunity to really dive in there and find out some additional information on your own, or to be able to ask other members of the community to get some answers on this project. So this project, if you are interested after you are done listening to this video, we have a little giveaway going on. I should actually say it's a fairly big giveaway. It's not one, not two, but 3 whitelist spots that are available for the NFT launch phase. And I'm also going to be able to share with you in this video the first sneak peek of their NFTs. It's a rough version. It's not completely finished, but it's the majority of it. So we got something to expose you to in that. So go ahead and keep watching this video. But first off, let's go ahead and introduce Nori from their team. How's it going, Nori?
Going great. Thank you.
Nori, can you tell us just a little bit about what it is that you do with DeFi Syndicate?
Sure. So I'm one of the project founders along with Layered Risk. So we came up with, the idea of this project, and I work primarily on kind of the overall project ideas, tokenomics, and then just interacting with the community.
So my first major question is, can you please tell us a little bit about your project?
Sure. A little bit. So we have a multi-phase project here. We initially decided, or we're initially going to just have a single phase. We were thinking about doing some sort of node project with a heavy gamification aspect in the cyberpunk theme. But the more we thought about it, the more we figured that we needed to kind of ease into it a little bit to have the best possible experience for everybody. So that's when we decided to end up doing multiple phases. The first phase is actually already launched, and that was a reflection coin. We had a little bit of a rocky start, but overall it hasn't gone perfect, but it's gone kind of not that dissimilar from some reflection coins. And the purpose of this is basically just to reward in phase 2 people who have bought and held for this, because we're going to be giving some pretty preferential treatment to people who hold the SYN tokens. And then phase 2, which we'll probably get into a little bit more later in this video, is going to be a play to earn NFT based kind of idle game, sort of similar to the vein of the Pizza Project or Chicken Project on Avalanche. And then the overall idea behind our phase 2 is to have longevity and sustainability. One of the biggest reasons we wanted to start a project is so much of what is out in DeFi is just about chasing the highest APY or APR, and it's less about the interactions and sustainability of the project. So we aim to have something that'll be around long term, at least long term as far as crypto is concerned. And then phase 3 is up in the air a little bit still. We have really solid ideas and plans for it, but it's far enough out that we want to remain flexible on the details.
Mm.
But the general idea behind it is to create a kind of a cyber city where other projects can be integrated into ours. And they may be projects that we're making, like phase 2 will be integrated into phase 3, for instance. But we're planning on having robust partnerships with other projects as well, and seeing ways that we can integrate them into our cyber city.
Okay, and then I see you also have a phase 4 and a phase 5 here. I think that might actually be part of my next main question, which is what are your long-term goals?
Yes, long-term goals. Well, a simple one-sentence thing would be creating an ecosystem of projects that are user-friendly and as sustainable as possible, while being fun. I feel like so much of crypto, like it's fun making money, sure, but a lot
It's
of the
very fun
project,
making money.
it's very fun making money, but you can also have an experience that's fun too.
Yes.
And we don't see very many projects that are addressing the experience. You know, I want to make money and have fun as well with a good experience. And so we're trying
Right.
to, we think cyberpunk is a really cool theme, and there hasn't been a lot of actual cyberpunk stuff out there. So we want to make a fun cyberpunk theme where people can earn money and also, actually enjoy the interactions. That they want to come back, not just to make money, but they want to come back because it's actually interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And we do plan, I know this is probably a question that'll come up later, but we do plan on, assuming all of the phase 2 and 3 goes pretty well, we would like to actually have a standalone game that's integrated with our tokens.
Mhm.
That's very much so a long-term goal, though, because that takes a long time.
I just feel like all these different game studios are going to be getting knocks on the door left and right from different crypto projects. And for them, if they were ever in a slump where they're like, man, we don't have enough clients, now they're going to be like, we got to expand our teams. We got to get more people on board. You know what I'm saying?
It's
We got
it's
so
gotta
many
be coming.
projects.
It's got to become. Well, consider this. So you look at a lot of these crypto gamified projects. What they're doing in the project is very similar to what started coming out when the first smartphones were released. It's very simple, idle game sort of stuff, just basic interactions, except the way that they monetized it on there was that you had to buy a coin, which allows you to purchase upgrades in Clash of Clans or something like that. And so it's interesting to me that you haven't seen some of those types of developers break heavy into the space because they could totally just release their own coin and do all of it blockchain stuff. But they have to make it user friendly enough to actually work on mobile and everything. So I think we're probably going to see that in the next year, or at least I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see that more.
I would say within the next 3 years, it's over a 90% guarantee. I'm not going to say 100% on anything, but everything that's moving as fast as it is right now, which if people do enough research and you talk to enough projects and you really look at the space, you can see it's moving very fast.
Yeah.
My next question for you is, does DeFi Syndicate have an audit?
We do not have an audit for phase 1. We plan to get an audit for phase 2 and phase 3, time and budget permitting. It's pretty important, in my opinion, just from our perspective. I am not a developer. I have a very technical background, but I'm not a developer, and so we would want to make sure, just from our perspective, that everything's safe. And we're dealing with people's money. We don't want anyone to have a bad experience or to have a contract exploit, and so I think an audit definitely makes a lot of sense.
Can you explain more about how your NFTs will work?
Yeah, so I think NFTs are very interesting, but I don't think that their full potential has really been unlocked. A lot of people just see them as digital art, and there's certainly a big aspect of that on them. Um, but we think that they can be a lot more. So what we're going to have for phase 2 is your NFT is going to be a character, and that character is going to be able to go on jobs, and these jobs are what is going to be able to earn you your rewards. Um, and the rewards will be, vary depending on job, and there's going to be a little bit of RNG involved. But we're also going to have a secondary set of NFTs that you can purchase with rewards you earn from the jobs, and these will modify your success rate and possibly rewards and some other items that we haven't revealed quite yet. Um, and it will modify that so that you can earn better rewards. Our items are going to have a durability system because, we're big on the sustainability aspect of it. And if someone just buys an item once and they're good forever, well, they're not going to keep spending tokens. um, but we think that NFTs can be more than just a pretty picture, and that you can interact in a fun way with a contract. So that's phase two. Phase three, we have a lot bigger plans um, for NFTs. It's going to be a little bit of an evolution of phase two to some extent. Our plan is more of a node style project, NFT node style project for phase three, but with heavy gamification aspects. And we want to have a very robust release schedule of new NFTs, which will take the form of new items that can be purchased using reward tokens. And these new items could be vanity items, but they can also be items that are equipable to your character and enhance your experience within that phase. And as part of all of that, we'll also have our own in-house NFT marketplace.
I want a jetpack, man. I want to be able to slap an NFT jetpack on my character and fly around.
Yeah, and we have plans for things like maybe you could get a car, and the car helps you to navigate the cyber city, for instance.
I
And there
want a
could be
jetpack car. It's a car that has a jetpack on the back of it. It doesn't really do anything because it's already a flying car, but it just gotta have that jetpack. Sorry.
that's a definite possibility. I
I'm
won't
just
rule it
messing, dude.
out.
I'm just messing.
Jetpacks can work in Cyberpunk.
Yeah, just whatever it is, slap a jetpack on it, right? Like, oh, you got burgers NFTs in the game now, but they're cyberpunk because you slap a jetpack on it. No,
Jetpacks are fun.
I want to try one in real
Definitely.
life, but I kind of don't at the same time.
It's a little dangerous.
Yeah. Next question for you: how long is the liquidity plan to be locked?
So we locked liquidity for our initial token, SIN, for 30 days. We're a little hesitant to lock for super long times, just because you don't know exactly what the future is going to hold, and locking up all of your tokens completely, it just makes it more complicated to make changes that you may need to make. Like, for instance, we locked 80% of our tokens for phase one, and we kept 20% back. And what we ended up doing was, when the price had dropped pretty low, we split the tokens apart, and we burned the SIN side of them, and then we used the AVAX side and did a big buyback. And so, while locks are definitely important to show that a team's going to be sticking around, um, we don't want to be completely locked in to something like a year. So our plan is to do like a rolling 30-day, or maybe like a 60 or 90-day.
Hmm. Well, before I actually get into the next question, one thing I don't want to forget that I want to showcase for everyone here is the little sneak peek with the NFT itself. So here we go. This is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. There is no background. I'm actually going to give Nori the floor so that you can kind of just explain a little bit of what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so our plan is to call the NFT, they're characters, and we're calling them netrunners, based on cyberpunk lore. And they're going, like I said, they're going to be completing jobs. We're not going for an overly militaristic thing, because they're supposed to be more like special agents or sleuths or something along those lines. Um, and so, I mean, this is one of the designs. We'll have variations in the hair, the kind of eyes. As you can see, he has a visor, clothing, different accessories and stuff. And then a variety of backgrounds, of course.
And my next question for you is, what platforms will be compatible with playing your upcoming games?
Yeah, so that is probably jumping pretty far ahead in the the roadmap part, because an actual game, like an immersive, 3D or 2D or what have you sort of game, is probably going to be more like past phase three, phase four, or five. So phase two and three is it's really tough to kind of explain exactly what they are without doing comparisons with other projects, but we see them as being, interactive, NFT based, like play to earn, idle game. You're interacting with, a D app on the website, um, And we plan for phase 3 at least. We plan for that to be a pretty immersive, sure, but an actual 3D sort of thing. That's going to be more like phase 4 or 5, and we'll go where we need to go for our users. If that's going to be some sort of, maybe Unity web-based thing, we can do that. If we need to put apps out on the App Store, we'll figure out how to make it work. But we want it to be something that is highly accessible for people.
Can you give us some more details about how your games will work?
Yeah, so the core part is to make an interesting and fun interaction with crypto. Because right now there's not very many crypto heavy based games. Where it's actually like a game, and so we want to make an interesting story, cyberpunk based story that you can follow and have heavy crypto integrations where your items are NFTs and your character is an NFT and interactions you have in the game can involve buying and selling NFTs, and then all of that goes towards supporting the overall ecosystem and project, and there'll be ways that you can make money within the game, like just playing it. And so we think that that's very interesting and might get a lot of people in who maybe otherwise aren't aware of cryptocurrencies.
Like we were saying earlier, right? Making money can be fun.
Yeah, totally.
Playing games, making money, like that's one of the goals a lot of streamers have too.
Well,
Um,
so I used to play PlayerUnknown Battleground PUBG a decent amount. And back when they first released, you could actually play and make money off of their vanity items
I remember that.
because yeah, and I thought it was great. It was like, oh yeah, I just put 10 hours and maybe you didn't make a lot of money, but you can make a little bit of money selling stuff in Steam and then use that to go and buy games and stuff. I was so bummed when they kind of more or less just killed that.
I didn't know that they actually stopped doing that. That's interesting. But I remember the very, very early days when it first launched for sure.
They didn't kill it. What they did was I can't remember exactly what it was, but they basically just made it hard to get any money out of it. And so the prices dropped really heavy.
Well,
And
my
then it just
next,
didn't become worthwhile to even try to sell anymore.
right. My next question for you is are there any partnerships you're in talks with, you have plans to reach out to, or are considering?
Sure. We have talked with many different projects and communities, and we do have plans in place with a few, but we're holding off on some bigger pushes until we get closer to phase 2 being launched. Um, it's a delicate, balance between, talking about future project stuff and timelines and stuff, but actually having a lot to show people and keeping everyone interested. Um, so we're kind of holding off on some bigger pushes until we have a little bit more phase 2 to show, which part of that is going to be these NFT previews, of which you have now seen more than anyone else.
Well, that includes my community, right? So we're going to be getting this video up and sharing that with the world. And if anybody else is watching this video and you know other people that are curious about this, by all means, you can forward this video over to them and they can find out more. Or, like I mentioned before, I'm going to provide in the description links to their Twitter, to their website, as well as to their Discord. And Nori, that was all the questions that I had for you. Was there anything else off the top of your head that you wanted to be able to add before we do wrap up this video?
Mm. I think we covered most of it. Just I'll just add that we got big ideas and big plans, and no project is without some bumps in the road, and we've been working through them and just plugging along. So we're excited for what the future holds, and hope that people want to join us on the journey. People who buy our first token SIN right now, you're basically getting a pretty good discount on the NFTs. Um, we're doing a 300 mints only for people who hold SIN. And currently, at the current price, those mints are cheaper than what the mint will end up being if you buy using straight AVAX.
Well, great. And if anyone has more questions, they have the resource material. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, that we have 3 whitelist spots. We're doing that with a giveaway. That's going to be over on my Twitter account. Make sure that you follow the DeFi Syndicate Twitter account as well as mine, but I'll include all the little information in that tweet, and I'll provide a link to that tweet in the comments below this video. So if you want to be able to get in on that, that's part of the NFT phase that they're moving into. You guys can find that information down below. Thank you so much, Nori, for popping in, taking time out of your schedule to be able to help address some of these questions as I made this video for the community. And for everyone else that's watching, thank you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, do not forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up like button. It definitely helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm. Click the bell icon. God bless, and I will see you in the next episode.